What's up, ladies and gentlemen? chuckfinleLP here with Let's Play Gran Turismo 6, the Ayrton Senna Tribute content video. The Gran Turismo 6 wanted to give a tribute to the 20th, well, I guess that isn't I think it is the 20th anniversary of his death, and as a tribute, they gave you different challenges that you can do, and this is one of the challenges here. Racing in his DAP number 17 racing kart from 1980, and I will start that now. You can see here on the home page here. You can see a short summary on the left side of what he was thinking around this time. You can see a slideshow of about 37 photos. I won't be viewing those. You can see a gallery here of the cart that we'll be using. I won't be looking at that because it's nothing real special. You're just looking at the cart from different angles. But I will start this. You can see we will be going Silverstone, the Stowe circuit, target time of a minute, and this is a time trial. And for each of these events, and there are several different events, you can see a slideshow of that period of time for Senna. You can see that is his full name there, and that's a picture of when he was a child. And you can see he was born on March 21st, 1960. He was the second child and eldest son of, didn't get a chance to see their names, but what this is, like I said, it's just a tribute thing. You can do a time trial for just, race in events that he did. Not every single event will be the exact same as he did, is the way that he did it. Most of them will be. I believe this karting event is not the same. It might be, though. I would have to sit here and, watch this slideshow again. There are 4 events that you can do, and every one of them will have a slideshow, as I said, that will talk about what happened in his period of life. This is from when he was born to when he started racing go-karts at the age of 13, winning his first race at the Interlagos circuit, karting circuit. And I won't be doing the actual races live. I've already done the races off camera, but I have the replays of them that I can show, so that I can show what happened, what I did, and I will be talking a little bit more in depth about how to do these races, because they are pretty difficult challenges compared to the other stuff in Gran Turismo 6. It is very, very difficult to do. So what I'll be doing is usually I do want to mention this. I usually would play music in the background, but just to make sure that I don't get copyrighted for the music, I've turned all the music off. The sound effects are still on, but you won't hear the sound effects until I actually start doing the races. And so you can see this is the DAP kart in which Senna contested the World Championship for. And we can, as I said, we'll be racing in that same event for this kart, or with this kart, I mean. And see the Silverstone Stowe track, and you can see here the racing kart that Senna loved. Get behind the wheel of Senna's DAP racing kart, which he drove at the Karting World Championship. The green-colored number 17 machine, which he piloted at the pinnacle of his karting career, possessed a simple design, sans front fairing or side box, and powered by an air-cooled 100cc rotary valve engine. The kart had exceptionally stable steering thanks to the narrow tread on the front tires. The venue for this time trial is Silverstone Stowe circuit that features a specially built section. If you win the gold award, you will receive Senna's racing kart as a prize. The silver will get you Senna's racing suit from that period. So you can see my record is a 59.330. The time to beat is 1 minute, as I just said. Prize money for this is in-game credits is 300,000 for silver, or sorry, for gold, 100,000 for silver, and then 50,000 for bronze. But if you have the and you can see what the track looks like here. But if you have the bonus money, you'll of course gain more money. So it's not a bad thing. It's not too difficult. Really quickly, the only thing you can change about about this cart is just what you have for driving options. It's stuck to an automatic transmission. The driving line is turned off. The blind spot indicator is turned on, but you don't need it. The traction control, you can turn that from from 0 to 10. I believe I put it on 1 just to, but it's not really needed. For the cart is actually very stable, so you really don't need it on 1. But I put it on 1. Skid recovery force is turned off, and then you cannot change the anti-lock braking system, and then the controller steering sensitivity, which I don't use anyway. But now I'm going to cut to save time. Instead of scrolling through the menus, going to the replay section, I'm just going to cut, and then I'll bring up the replay of this event. I'll see you in a second. Alright, welcome back. As you can see, I've started up the replay. What I'm going into right now is just a computer-controlled warm-up lap. You cannot actually take the warm-up lap. The game does it for you, and it will bring you just before the start-finish line, and that will give you control of it here again. As you can see on the bottom of the screen, this is information. Your tires on the far left will be your tires and how your car is damage-wise. Your fuel, how your fuel is, but none of that is important in this challenge. The only thing that really would help people out watching this video is if you can see the sort of bluish-white line. That is the accelerator line. That's how much that tells you how much pressure I'm putting on the gas pedal, and then the dark line right beside it is the brake pedal, the brake, I guess, pressure pedal indicator, or the brake indicator, and that will tell you how much brake I'm using in it. That will help you out. And this stuff on the right side, none of that matters. All you want to do is just watch the line that I take going into the corners and the accelerator and the braking, and I'll go ahead and start it, and you can hear the sound that it makes. So that should be able to help you as well, trying to figure out where you need to let off the gas and hit the brake and all that. But for the most part, going through this, all you really need to do is just for a large chunk of this track anyway, all you really need to do is just let go of the gas pedal for a split second, then turn in, and past that, like going through this section here, I didn't let off the accelerator there, but it wouldn't be a bad idea. It actually is a little bit faster going through there, and I got kind of lucky there. If you hit any of the cones that go off the track, that you will get penalized. So you can going past the white lines as well. That's kind of going off the track, and that will gain you a penalty. And so you need to be careful about doing that. I got kind of lucky because I was still on the painted lines. As long as you keep 2 wheels on the actual racing surface, you should be okay. And that's a great way to try to cut corners and gain a little bit of extra speed. As you know, you already know what my best time was. This was my previous best lap. You can see here a 1 minute .054. My best lap was a 59.033, I think, or a 330. I don't remember right off the top of my head, but anyway, so that's that's this first event. Now I'm going to cut and go to the second event just before the just before the second event, and I'll show the slideshow and all that again, and just like I did with the first event, so I'll see you in a second. Alright, welcome back. As you can see, this is the Chapter 2 of the Senna Tribute from 1981 to 1983, and his Formula Ford days. You can see here on the left side, just a quick summary of the story of what he went through. Again, some more slideshows. The picture of the WSR 1983 Ayrton Senna car, and all, and information about that as well. And we'll go ahead and start that, because you can see the best time is a 43 point, I want to say 010. I don't remember right. I just kind of glanced at it, so you can see. And 81, he started his Formula Ford 1600 championship. And just some information about the cars that he had to ride in, and some more information about what he did in his first year. So a pretty good first season for that kind of stuff. And then he moved up to the Formula 4 2000 category the next year. 22 wins in 28 races. That's really good. Really, really good. And then he made his debut in Formula 3 the next year in November 1982. And then he moved up to Formula 3 after that. And this car will be the one that we're going to drive. His, I believe, Formula 3 car is the one that will be driving. Yeah, I was gonna say that his Formula 3 car, which is actually a very nice car to drive. It's not too bad. You don't need a whole lot of assists on it, to be totally honest. We'll take a look at the driving assists. So you can see my record was a 43.128. The target time was a 43.140. So you know, this challenge is very difficult. Silver was a 45 seconds, and then bronze is 50 seconds. We'll take a look here and set a new track record. On May 8th, 1983, at the 8th British Formula 3 Championship held at Brands Hatch, Ayrton Senna arrived on the scene, winning the first 7 races of the season. His new team, West Surrey Racing, provided him with a race car powered by a Toyota 2TG engine. He was blindingly fast on the circuit, especially around Paddock Hill Bend, and set a track record lapping the Brands Hatch Indy circuit in 43.14 seconds. Now it's your turn to try your hand on this tricky layout and Senna's machine to see if you can beat his record time. A silver award will get you Senna's car, while a bronze will score you Senna's racing suit he wore at the time. So whenever you see that, whenever they give you the car for the silver award, that's usually a pretty difficult challenge. You can see here 550,000 for gold, 250,000 for bronze, and then 150,000 for I messed that up. 550,000 for gold, 250,000 for silver, and then 150,000 for bronze. So I actually didn't know that they was going to give you the car. I just was more concerned about getting the gold, which is good. It's best. You can see you can change the transmission to automatic or manual. I ran an automatic. You can't change the tires; those are set to soft. Thankfully, you can have the driving line on. That definitely helps. Blind spot indicator and active steering if you want it. I don't use it. Traction control, I took that all the way off. The car doesn't need traction control at all. It's a very stable car coming out of corners, so I didn't need it at all. ABS I did have on, but a lot of people, a lot of the top name, a lot of people who set fastest times in this game have ABS, at least on. They won't have traction control on, but because you can gain a lot of time coming out of the corners with traction control turned off, but they do need ABS turned on. Active stability management is not on. I don't use it anyway. Skid recovery force is turned off. I don't use that anyway. And again, I don't use control steering sensitivity. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of cut. I do have this on replay. I don't have the ghost replay. I just have the replay like you saw in the first for the first challenge. So I'm going to cut, and then I'll see you at that challenge. Alright, welcome back. This is the Stage 2 event in the Formula 3 car. The things on the bottom are just the same. They will be every event. The only things you need to look at are the accelerator and the brake indicators, and again, this is the computer controlled until right here, and then that's when the player regains control. Now, it's actually a very good idea coming into this corner if you try to practice as much as possible, try to slow down in that corner and then coming out of that corner, because you can gain a lot of speed. You can see a black mark on the track. That is a good line to follow, but there's also a racing line that if you follow the racing line, it kind of takes you away from that black mark a lot of the time. But that black mark is more often than not faster, or the fastest way around the track, so you do want to be careful. Again, running off track, going past the white lines will gain you a penalty, as well as hitting cones, but I don't think there's any cones you really need to worry about. This is a pretty short track, but it is very, very difficult, especially coming into this particular corner. It's very easy. You can see I had to sit there and play with the throttle because I went a little bit too wide. But if you hang right against this corner here, all the way around, you'll gain the most speed. And I made a 143.218 out of it. You can see my previous best lap was a 43.242, so definitely did pretty good. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut, and then I'm going to go to the first Chapter 3 challenge, the first of 2 Chapter 3 challenges, and so I'll see you in a second. Alright, welcome back. As you can see, from 1984 to 1987 is when this chapter, which is what this chapter is. This is his jump to Formula 1. As you can see here again on the left side, just a quick summary of what goes on in this chapter. 43 slideshows, 43 pictures in the slideshow this time. Gallery of his Lotus 97T 85 Formula 1 car. And you can see 2 time trial events. One at the 1980 style Monza, which is the home of the Italian Grand Prix, and then the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit, which is what the Formula 1 drivers. This is the same style track that the Formula 1 drivers drove in when they did sometime. This particular version of the track is during the 1980s. We'll take a look at the Monza one first, since that is the first time trial. And if you play this for the first time, you actually have to play the Monza first before you can unlock the Brands Hatch, so you do want to keep that in mind. And we'll take a look. So, Senna made his Formula 1 debut in 1984, representing the relatively new Toleman team. Very tough track, Monaco. And that's what he was known for, was being able to drive in rain very well. Yeah. So he moved to the Lotus team in 1985. So now you can see if you can beat his lap time of a 125.084 at the Monza circuit. Again, this is the 1985, the 1980s version. I won't say it's the 85 version, but 10-minute countdown to grab pole position. The Italian Grand Prix, the 12th race of the 85 Formula 1 season, saw renewed vigor in Senna as he failed to compete in the previous Italian Grand Prix because of contract disagreements. It was Senna's first race at Monza. Senna posted a lap time of 1:26.404, which he thought was fastest of the day, but he was informed that Keke Rosberg posted a faster time. The ever-competitive Senna went back out on the track despite having only 10 minutes of qualifying time left to better Rosberg's time. All seemed lost when his jet black Lotus 97T understeered on Lesmo curve, but when the dust had settled, Senna threw down a blistering time of 1:25.084 to take his 5th pole position of the season. Now it's up to you to match Senna's time around Monza, which has been recreated to the exact same specifications as the 1985 season. Score a silver award and you'll be given Senna's Lotus racing gear, the same one he wore for the 1985 season. That's easier said than done, as you will no doubt see how amazingly fast Ayrton Senna truly was. So you won't get the car this time, but you can see the gold time is 900,000, silver is 400,000, and bronze is 250,000. You can see how the track is laid out. And then we'll take a look at the times. 1:25.084, we already know that. My time is 1:22.922. Silver is 1:30, very easy to do, and bronze is 1:40, very easy to do as well. And we'll take a look at the driving options real quick. Automatic, again, you can change that to manual if you need to. I kept automatic. Can't change the tires. Driving line turned on. Blind spot indicator turned on. Active steering, don't use it. Traction control I left at 1 because the way this era, or at least this version of the 1980s Formula 1 car, is the rear wheels will break loose going into 3rd gear. The entire time you're in 3rd gear, your wheels will spin and not gain any traction until you get into 4th gear, and so that does make it pretty difficult. So I had to keep the traction control turned to 1. Again, leave ABS on 1. Active stability management you cannot have on, don't need it, I don't even use it, like I said, as I've said previously. And the skip recovery force turned off, don't use that. Don't use controller steering sensitivity. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut, and then I'll show you the replay of this race, so I'll see you in a second. Alright, welcome back. As you can see here, I'm just starting the Monza track, and again, just take a look at focus on the braking and the accelerator points. As I said, this, and you can actually see, thankfully I'm starting in 4th gear right now, but as you can see, coming out of corners, the braking, I'll go ahead and start this while I'm talking about this. Going into 1st, 2nd, and 3rd gears are the worst gears, especially coming out of this particular corner if you are not careful. Yeah, if you see, I broke loose a little bit. That will hurt your overall speed because you want to come out of this corner very fast so that you can gain the most speed as you can coming down this long front straight here. Going into this corner, you can see I've actually gotten up to 220 to 221 on previous attempts going through here, but I just wasn't able to keep the speed going through there. But anyway, going through those really quick turns, you want to be careful not to get too many wheels over the off in the grass, because that will result in a penalty. At least 2 tires have to be on the track at all times to not gain a penalty. And I'm going through these corners. I took it a little bit easy because I was doing so well, but really all you have to do is just let off the gas, take a wider entry into those corners, let off the gas for a split-second turn in, and then you can immediately get back on the gas, and you can gain a lot more time than what I did through there. I was just taking it easy. Going through here, I was taking it easy as well. Now, if you go into that runoff area, you will be penalized, so you want to be very careful. I actually did that, and I was doing a better lap time than what I'm going to do now. But I was unable to do it because I got penalized. And just going through that corner again, getting the braking area right will definitely help you out a lot more. And yeah, so that's the Monza. That's the Monza time. So I'm going to go ahead and cut, and then I'll just go to the Brands Hatch area. So I'll see you in a second. Alright, welcome back. We'll go ahead and start the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. So, a miracle of the super high-speed circuit. In 1985, Senna competed in the F1 World Championship for Lotus, the same team that his childhood hero Jim Clark had raced for. The age of telemetric monitoring in motorsport had just begun. Nevertheless, Senna had a way of communicating with his car without the need for technology. Before going out onto the track, Senna would close his eyes, concentrate, and predict what his lap time was going to be. More often than not, he'd come off the track having actually matched or beaten his predicted time, so that's actually pretty good. Senna would not trouble the podium for a long time after his maiden victory in Portugal. He was finally able to vent his frustration at the 13th Grand Prix of the season in Belgium. At Spa-Francorchamps, a circuit which would become one of his favorites, Senna once again proved that rain was his ally. After starting second on the grid, Senna took the lead on the Eau Rouge section of the track. Senna managed to hold on and win a tough race despite having engine trouble. In total, Senna recorded 7 pole positions in the 85 season, finished on the podium 6 times, and came 4th in the Drivers' Championship. In the second half of the 1985 season, he showed particularly impressive driving skills during the 14th race held at Brands Hatch. And during qualifying for that race, he smashed the lap record for winged cars. There were even those who said his record would never be beaten. Now it's your chance to see how you match up. Can you beat Senna's time of 1:07.169? A very tough time indeed. It took me quite a while to get to the time that I did, and it's not that great. Just a 1:06.860, but yeah, you can see a million credits for getting first place. Silver is 450,000, and then bronze is 300,000. We'll read the story behind this. One of the greatest laps ever. The scene of the 1985 European Grand Prix, the 14th race of the F1 season, was at Brands Hatch. Senna posted a lap time of 1:08.020 on the first day of qualifying, which was good enough for pole position. However, he wasn't satisfied. On the second day of qualifying on October 5th, he set out to post an even faster time to increase the gap between himself and Nelson Piquet. The result, an almost perfect lap, setting a new track record with a time of 1:07.169. The lap was one of Senna's masterpieces, and the man himself said he could never forget it. In the last stage of this tribute, see if you can match Senna's lap time. The Brands Hatch course has been recreated to its 1985 layout, providing you with a real opportunity to see how you stack up against the master. A silver award will get you one of Lotus's most prestigious cars in the 1980s, the 97T, as driven by Senna himself. So we'll just get his car. And again, you can change the transmission. I did automatic. Driving line turned on. Blind spot indicator doesn't matter. Active steering doesn't matter. Traction control I left on 1 because there is one corner through here because first, second, and third gear will make you break loose. I had to have traction control turned on at least 1. Active stability management turned off. ABS turned on for 1, and the skid recovery force turned on to turned off, because we can't have that. And then controller steering sensitivity, don't even bother with that. But yeah, I did have to have traction control turned on to 1, and you will see, and I'll point out the corner, but it should be pretty evident. It's definitely tough. Took me about 5 hours to get this time, just sitting here doing the track over and over, trying to learn every corner and entry and exit point on this track. And you can see what the track layout looks like. Definitely a very tough track, but I did it. And I'll go ahead and cut, and then I'll come back to the replay of this challenge. So I'll see you in a second. Alright, welcome back. As usual, just pay attention to the throttle and the braking. And this is the corner, if you can look on the map here on the top right, this is the corner that you come out of. Thankfully, the computer is controlling it, so it doesn't really matter. But this is the corner that is the worst portion of this track. And I had to have traction control turned on to be able to get through this corner, but I'll go ahead and start it. And you see, even the computer had trouble getting through that corner. Now, it's very important to try to practice a good racing line coming through here. I was in pretty rough shape at this time, that's why I didn't, and I've actually been able to get through around here through 90, but it's not actually a very good idea to be very fast coming out of that corner, or going into that corner, because you want to try to get as much speed as possible, or save as much speed as possible going through the corner. Through here, it's definitely a very good idea to follow the black line. I didn't exactly, and I even broke loose there. That's a pretty bad corner for breaking loose at. And going into this section, you don't have to brake too much, and you can usually get back on the gas pretty quickly. Same way with this corner. You can get up onto that curbing there, and you can hit the gas, or even just keep the throttle turned on a little bit, and you should be able to easily go through there. Now this is the corner. You want to try to keep, you don't want to knock it down to 2, because you will spin out if that happens. So you want to sit there and kind of keep going, keep hitting the throttle over and over again. And I didn't hug the wall, but it's actually a very good idea to go ahead and hug the wall there, because you'll gain a lot more speed. And I was able to, you can see my best lap. My previous best lap was a 107.188, and I actually kept that lap time for a long time. And then the target lap time was a 107.169. So yeah, very tough track. Like I said, it took me about 5 hours, just sitting here trying to do this race over and over again to get it. But I finally did, so I'm happy. So anyway, now there is one more chapter to the tribute. I'll go ahead and cut, and then I'll come back to that. And then there was actually 2 trophies tied to this particular tribute, or it's not DLC. It's free. You didn't have to pay for it. It was actually in the 1.08 patch. It was free. All you had to do was just download it, and then you got all of this for free, and you got 2 trophies for free, where normally you have to buy DLC to get the extra trophies. And I'll show those trophies off after I get done with the last chapter in the tribute, so I'll see you in a second. Alright, welcome back. As you can see, we are in the 4th and final chapter of the tribute from 1988 onward until his death in 1994. And as you can see here, there is no challenge to do. You can just see you can read a short summary of what went on, and I'll just go ahead and read that. In 1998, Senna joined McLaren, who realized they'd struck upon the perfect combination of designer, engine, and driver, and went on to win 3 world championships together. However, due to various dealings and political machinations taking place behind the scenes, Senna began to appear more and more isolated and delicate. Other drivers started winning world championships, new heroes were born, and the sport moved on. Amid all this upheaval, Senna decided to move to Williams, the team for whom he would drive his last fateful race. On May 1st, 1994, while traversing the high-speed Tamburello corner on the Imola circuit, Senna's car left the track, and he sustained injuries that he could not survive. While his loss continues to be felt keenly throughout the racing world, Ayrton Senna lives on in the hearts of his family and within the soul of Brazil itself. So, you see here 73 pictures in the slideshow. Well, I guess I can take a look at that. I'm sure that might, yeah, so this will give you a little bit more information than what we have here. So you can see the second race of the season was the I'll go back and San Marino Grand Prix. No, I won't read this. I'll just keep this up, and then I'll just keep cycling through these. There's no reason for me to read them. So I guess he got shook up during the wreck there. as it is most more often than not, to be honest. Huh. Wow. Huh. Huh. Well, I guess this is the end of what Senna done in his racing career itself. I won't go through here as slowly as I was doing. If you, I do apologize. I usually hate it when people say this in a video, but if you want to read it, just continue to pause it. I'll leave it up long enough so that you should be able to pause it and then, uh, uh, you should be able to read it pretty easily. Yeah, this is just what things went on, after his death, and I guess okay, so that's it. All right, so there you go. That's the Senna thing. All this is oh, I guess I need to read this real quick. Uh, Senna was fond of saying that everyone deserved a chance in life, regardless of their background or education, and it was an honor and can't seem to read what that says. And to honor the sentiment, and I guess it doesn't look like a T there, and it was to honor the sentiment that his sister Vivian set up the non-profit organization that became the Ayrton Senna Foundation. The aim of the foundation is to give the children of Brazil the skills required to make their way in the world, and to do this, and to this end, it carries out a whole range of activities, from training teachers and members to supporting to those starting out in the world of employment, to provide meals for those who cannot provide for themselves. Thanks to the foundation, countless youngsters have been helped to realize their dreams. Ayrton's Wish is a short documentary following the progress of young people who have benefited from the support of the Ayrton Senna Foundation. It follows the children hoping to make a future in various fields and the staff trying to help them achieve their dreams, and provides ample evidence that the spirit of Senna remains well and truly alive. So I guess that's the movie there. But I won't take a look at that. Do have to leave some things for people who would potentially buy this game and play it. As I said, this is free. You don't actually have to buy this. It's just download it. The patch, which depending on when you buy the game, you should already have it. But it is patch 1.08. And yeah, so I do thank you for watching. Uh, and yeah, so until next time.